So question 7. The curve with the equation of y equals x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 5 is shown in the diagram, this one here. So we're asked to write down the coordinates of P, the point where the curve crosses the y-axis, and this is for 1 mark. So question 7a. Okay. So when the curve will cross the y-axis, that's when the x coordinate is going to be 0. So what we can do is just sub in 0 into this equation here, and that should give us the y coordinate. Y equals x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. So when x is equal to 0, squared plus 2, 0 plus 5, they're all going to be 0, and you're just going to be left with y is equal to 5. So the point P is equal to 0, 5. Right. You just get your 1 mark. Part B. Determine the equation of the tangent to the curve P. So that is this line here. This line here is that a tangent to this point here on P, and we're asked to find its equation. So what we can do is we can differentiate. We're going to differentiate the equation, and then we're going to put in the point P, the x coordinate of that, which we know is 0, and then from that we'll be able to know the gradient, and then we've already got the point P, and we'll sub that back in to get the equation of the line. So let's go ahead and do that. So y equals x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. So dy by dx equals 2x squared minus 6x plus 2. So at the point P, so gradient at point P, x equals 0. So we can sub that back in. So dy by dx is equal to m, which is equal to 2, 0 squared minus 6 times 0 plus 2. So m is equal to 2. Okay. Now what do we need to do? Now that we've got the gradient and we've got a point, we can just put all this back in to the equation of the line. So let's go ahead and do that. So y minus b equals mx minus a. So y minus 5, is the point P we're looking at here, equals 2x minus 0. So y equals 2x plus 5, and that's your final answer here. So this question was for 3 marks. So our first mark comes from correctly differentiating this equation here, and then our second mark comes from finding the gradient, and then the third mark comes from writing the equation of the tangent. So part C. Find the coordinates of Q, the point where this tangent line meets the curve again. So this is point Q here, the point where this tangent line meets this curve again. We know from our previous answer that the equation of that line is y equals 2x plus 5. So what can we do here? Well, we need to make the two equations equal to each other, because when we do that, we'll be able to work out the points at which the two lines cross. So we start off with our two equations, which are y equals 2x plus 5, and our second one, or our first one, depending on how you want to say it, are y equals x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. And you just make the y's equal to each other. So you have 2x plus 5 equals x cubed minus 3 x squared plus 2x plus 5. Right, so this is going to simplify down because you've got a 2x there, and a 2x there, and a 5 there, and a 5 there. So what does this now become? You now then have x cubed minus 3x squared, and because that's all gone, that's equal to 0. Now you can take out a common factor here of x squared, so this then becomes x squared x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, so now we can find the roots of this equation. Now we already know there's a root at 0, and you could also work that out because when you divide this, you get x equal to 0, x squared is equal to 0. So then that becomes x equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0, which is the same as saying x equals 3. So now we can substitute this x equals 3 back into this expression here, and we'll be able to get this point Q. So now that we have this x point, so this is saying this point here is 3. So now we can you can put it into either equation, it would work, but we'll put it into this equation because it's a bit simpler. So our y coordinate is y equals 2 times 3 plus 5, which equals to 6 plus 5, which is 11. Okay, so, and to answer the question properly, find the coordinates of Q where the point meets the curve again. So Q has points 3, 11. And that's the final answer there. So you get the marks for 1, knowing to put these equal to each other, these two expressions equal to each other. And you get the second one for factorizing correctly, which is here. You get the third and fourth mark. You get the third mark for getting this x coordinate and the fourth mark for getting the 11. Okay, that's it.